Hey, you guys. So I'm going to do the reading response question with you for chapter 1. So if you look at the top of this, you'll see the first rule of punk, chapter 1. And then it says evidence sentence starters with this whole list of some sentence starters. And then over here, it says race method. And a race method is just something that we can use to make sure that we have answered each question completely. So RACE stands for restate, answer, cite, and explain. So I'll refer back to that while we're answering the question. So for each one of these reading response questions that you get, the top will look the same. It'll have all these sentence starters, and then it'll have this RACE method, just to remind you for when you're writing. So if we scroll down to the question, it says respond to the following question in proper paragraph form. So I'm going to write a 5-sentence paragraph with an introduction sentence, 3 details, and then a conclusion sentence. So here's the question. What are some of the things that are important to Malou? Provide evidence from the text to support your answer. So we need to restate the question. That's our first step here in this RACE method up here. So I'm going to restate the question in my first sentence. So I'm going to first hit the tab button to indent, and then I'm going to say there are many things that are important to Malou. So this is my introduction sentence. And you know what would be really neat is that you could probably just take what I'm writing here and put it on your sheet for the chapter 1 question. Anyway, okay, there are many things that are important to Malou. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to choose one of these sentence starters. We'll say, according to the text, Malou. Now we have to think about the text, so you can go back to the video of me reading chapter 1 if you need to remember some ideas. Now, one of the things that Malou really loves is home, right? She talks about wanting to stay home, and even in her zines at the end of the chapter, she has a whole page about how there's no place like home. So I'm going to say, according to the text, Malou I'm going to say Malou finds her home to be very important and doesn't want to move. Okay, and then I'm going to do another top thing that's important to Malou. So we find in the chapter that she talks about her dog, Marty. That's her dad's dog. So it sounds like from the chapter, I think we can kind of guess that her dad is not moving with them. So maybe her parents are divorced, but her dad is the one with the dog Marty. So I think she's going to miss Marty because she talks about Marty, and there's a zine about Marty. So I think I'm going to say, I don't think I'm going to use an evidence sentence starter. I think I'm going to use a transition word. I'm going to say also, Malou created a zine about her dog, Marty. So he must be important to her as well. And now for my third thing that's important to Malou, I'm going to do another transition word. I'm going to say, finally, let's see. I'm going to use another evidence sentence starter, I think. I'm going to say, based on the visual clues, and that would be stuff that we saw with our eyes. So we saw all those zines that she made. Finally, based on the visual clues in the zines, Malou, so let's see, what's another thing she found really important? Oh, she talks about the Spins and Needles Records shop. Finally, based on the visual clues in the zines, Malou loves the spins and needles record store. So now I have my introduction sentence, 3 details talking about 3 different things that are important to Malou, and now I'm going to do a conclusion sentence. While there are many things that are important to Malou, these 3 things are among the most important. Ooh, okay. So now we have our response done. We've got our 5 sentences, our introduction, our 3 details, and our conclusion. And now we can go down here to vocabulary. So what you can do for vocabulary is you can open up a tab and Google define maneuvered. So the first word here is maneuvered, and I need a definition. So I Googled define maneuver. Well, maneuvered is the past tense of the word maneuver, it says here. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the definition. I'm going to hit Control C to copy, and then I'm going to put it here and hit Control V to paste, and I have my definition. Move skillfully or carefully. Now I'm going to put this in a sentence. I'm going to say Louis maneuvered the pencil across the paper. So I'm talking about how Louis is maybe drawing or writing or something, but I'm saying he maneuvered the pencil across the paper, meaning he moved it very skillfully or very carefully. So that's the sentence that I made up. So what you're going to do is going to continue on these. You can go to Google and type in define ideal. You can also go to dictionary.com to find the definition of ideal, and then copy and paste it and put it in your own sentence. And then you'll do that for each of these words. And whenever you have a question, a reading response question, you'll have the question up here that we did, and then you'll have 4 vocabulary words where you'll have to put the definition and a sentence that you create using that new word. So remember, if you have any questions, please let us know and we will take care of that for you. Have fun!